Hi guys. Let's see if we have a broadcast. Okay, let's see. Let's wait for some more people to join, if anyone's online. Well, today I was gonna talk about a couple of things. Let's see. So, have you heard about Atlas of the spine? So-called Atlas vertebra. It's the most superior, as they say, first vertebra of the spine. And we have one guy here in Russia who, one of my personal YouTube favorite channels in Russia, he did this correction of Atlas. So this first joint of the vertebra or the spine, whatever you call it. So this is kind of an image of how it's composed, how this joint works, because it's literally a joint. It's functioning totally pretends to be calibrating the whole spine of the person, because the head is most heavy part of this bone skeleton, and it's up to 6 kilograms. So it has a large weight which is pressing down on this axis, and it's literally, if it's turned a little bit, or it's not, valid to sit still, it can be provoking many muscle problems around it. So those muscles are not correctly functioning, and literally what you get is total disorder of calibration all the way down below this Atlas vertebra. So everything that's down it's below the Atlas vertebra gets bad calibration, and you know what's happening to the device which needs to be calibrated. It's literally not working correctly, and you have many problems. Like, you don't have this level of your spine, like we have a green here and the red here. So when you look at this picture, you remember Matrix, when they give you a blue pill or red pill, but this is correct level and incorrect level. And we have like this red pill, everybody, and we can fix it to make the spine calibration work perfectly, so the rest of the body will be working correctly. And this guy is, I'm trying to contact him to get more information about this correction, because he made a bunch of videos when they showed how this is proceeded. Let's see. So this is kind of a device, the vibrating device that they stick right to your forehead, or whatever you call it, neck below your. This is the muscle joint of your head. So he's like making these manipulations in different points and trying to relax the those muscles so he can get to the joint itself. And this joint is probably gives you the result to the Atlas correction. So he's like, not just solving the problem like the hospitals, the doctors do right now. They just release your symptoms and that's it. They don't solve the problems. And he solves the problem, because the problem of this is the muscle pain and this sore muscle joint around the head, because it doesn't let your atlas work correctly. So he's done like 3 times this thing, and each time it gets better, and his head is turning better, and he has more angle of view right now, because he can, you know, literally look back easy way. And because most of the people like have different angle of control in different size of the head spinning, and so this is also solving this problem. It's also solving the problem of different headaches and stuff like this. Even the visibility of different objects can be more precise after you do this. So what this guy also done, plenty of videos, and he has like 400,000 subscribers. Mostly he was making videos about science, and so all this channel called the literally Get to Know TV. So you get to know all these things, and a couple of years from now he stopped doing these political videos, just like I was doing, because we were working with the same people, same celebrities, political celebrities. And I knew this guy, not like personally, but I knew him from our clients that we were working with. And so he's like made a couple of videos about the kings, and this kind of correlates with what I was doing about the crown and bravery. And so I probably asked him the permission to use his information to create a single video about what he found, because this is kind of a good thing, because this information brings us to the fact that everybody was German from 17th century. Everyone, every queen, every king in England and France and Russia, they were all like relatives. And what he was finding is literally statistical evidence of this. So I'm contacting him because he's also made videos about brick masonry in churches design, and so he like has a bunch of footage that I could use to compose more footage on my videos with Mudflood. So probably this is good chance for me to contact somebody who can be an expert and give me some information on what I was doing on ancient masonry and all this mudflood evidence. Also, we had a letter from Rosette. She's like probably away, and probably soon we were gonna have a chat. I hope she sends me an invitation pretty much soon. So she sent me about the Nikolai II and Romanov's family, because it was like 100 years of their death. And so this is the house of Romanovs. Romanovs are the kings of Russia. They are also relatives to Germans, and they have all this Goldstein dynasty, which is also the dynasty of British monarchs and all this French and everybody else. So and this is the house they were murdered in Ekaterinburg in Russia, near the Ural Mountains. And it looks pretty much mud flooded too, right here. This is the picture from the beginning of 20th century. So it's like everything is connected to the mud flood. So also people send me more pictures about the buildings in their house, in their towns. So this is kind of a building, looks pretty much fine, because it doesn't have the underground floors and underground windows sticking out. Only maybe this little hole here is very suspicious, but not. On the other side, we also have some windows to the ground, but we see this strange thing here with this fence in a low level angle, and here we go, the underground level, which was probably an entrance to this building before the flood or something like this. So it's just a restored building which is using the underground facilities of the previous building right now. And it looks pretty much the same as the any house in the city. But here we go. If we probably go to each and every basement of this street, we will find the same, that the level was below that and it's just buried right now. Also, people send me pictures from let's see, why doesn't it let me? Well, okay, I'll show it next time. You know the video about the around the world of Daft Punk. It was a famous video in 2014. You can look at it by yourself. I don't want to get a copyright strike, but I show a couple of things here. So we have like the beginning, and we have those swimmers, girls, and they like standing, and the wall after it looks like many balls, but it's not actually the balls, it's just the round structure representing the cells. What I'm saying is multi-cell world, multi-cell universe that's behind it. Also, next we have mummies here, which are representing the Egyptian elite. They want to be Egyptian, they want to be old as hell because they live longer than we do, and they change the documents, change the bodies while making physical surgeries, changing the faces and stuff like this. And they can survive for like 300-400 years, maybe even more. We don't know. So they link themselves to this parasitic control, and they also represent the immortality, because mummy is immortal creature. Even if it's dead, it still can, move and stuff like this. Because they believe the part of the mummy is also the main thing. And also we see this stepped structure with this pyramid on the head. So it's like representing the movement of people towards the top and then descending. And so it's like changing of the elites. And these are representing the sportsmen, and also they're representing women, because we need women and we need sports as an entertainment. And women also represent arts, theaters, dancing, and all this stuff. So the mummies represent the elites. Let's see, and these are skeletons here, dancing skeletons. These are just the dead people. I mean, we are the dead people for them, because we'll die before they die, so we are already dead for them. It's like knowing that some butterfly will die tomorrow. When you look at it, when it's flying near your house, you know that this butterfly is going to die probably tomorrow or next week, whatever. So it's a dead man, and they represent us as a dead man, and that dead man also interact with women, and they like entertained by women. Also, we see the spaceman. They like orbiting this circle, which is also representing the flat surface of the world, because they're walking around the world. And spacecraft, spacemen represent scientists that entertain us with all these shows that they do. So this is what, just watch this clip and you'll see many different signs of like this is a fish-like lens that they picture in the world, and it looks like pretty round from the top. And also we see this swastika rotation of the polar star in the north. So, okay, let's see what's next. I'm trying to contact this guy. His name is Председатель of SNT. This means he's a country house boss. That's what he called himself. So he made 2 videos, which I want him to be an expert also like this previous guy, because he also supports the idea of mud flood and has his footage on different objects, which I would like to use in the further research and further documentary composing. So he like showed this video that also one of his subscribers that went to this concrete place. He got some footage, and also this is a place. This is called Silver Mountain Fortress. I bet they mined silver before they made this fortress, and probably the fortress was the power station before that. So when you conquer the power station itself, you probably, when you have a power station, or mineral resource like silver resource, you have to guard it somehow. You have some civilization protection. So you have to have like roads with different cities, because this is all in the mountains. Understand me? This is not just like a landscape for easy transportation. This is a hard transportation thing, because it's on the top of a mountain. So you have to have roads towards the top, which are easy to bring the material to construct the fortress. But this one is very strange, because it doesn't have, very good, has only one road, in fact, which might be enough. But I believe it, because they could, bring the stone on the top, or the bricks, whatever. And the factory would be like here in this town, and they could produce those bricks here. But what we see here is a huge amount of stonework around the fortress, all those buried insides of the fortress with the mud on the top, like a couple of meters of the mud. And also buried parts, buried towns here, everywhere around the fortress. We have buried little towns. They all buried with the mud. And so this video kind of shows us the inside of this trench around it. So like, as you can see, it's probably the reconstruction sign of the brick wall that's inside of it than just the original type of construction. So they made it look like a medieval fortress, and it was probably not. So it was probably the structure before, like you can see here, if we stop it, the inside is a brick masonry, and outside is just some stupid stonework which is falling apart, and the inside is almost perfect. And you can see the mud on the top here. Can you see it? So it's kind of hard to construct something when you have a mud on the top. So you probably, it was constructed before the mud was got here, and this is the top of the mountain. This is not like a way down below. So think about it, because how can you bring all this level? And he also shows us another fortress in Sri Lanka, and we also see the level of the mud is way above, almost above the roofs here. This is the level of the ground. So all this was excavated like here. The inside was excavated perfectly, and this is a good video of his subscriber. So it's like showing a bunch of examples of star fortresses everywhere. And now he'll go again to this fortress, and as you can see, everything inside made out of bricks, like always construction we have here in Russia and worldwide, because bricks is the main material. So just imagine the amount of bricks to build this fortress, and the amount of technology which you have to you know, implement to construct such a place. Although we can see the outside layer was probably renovated a couple of times, and they also have this you know, wood stocks here. Why is that? Probably because they all wet and they want them to dry out, because probably they don't have a heater, so they cannot, you know, heat all this construction. Just imagine how huge those tunnels are, and all this fortress is has a bunch of internal constructions like we have here in Russia. We have those tunnels with those arch ceilings. So this is very strange because this is on the top, and if you make something for your medieval fortress, this is from Russia, this is from Moscow, just look at the same style. Right now the rivers are flowing through those tunnels, and they probably were on top like this one in this fortress. So the amount of construction and amount of the mud inside shows us that it was flooded also, but it's not excavated totally. You see this a bunch of mud here, and if some water gets inside, it's completely gets sticky and gets wet there. So it's enormous stupidity to build something with the naked soil on in the floor level. So probably it's just, you know, not cleaned for total 100%. Probably it's just not excavated well enough. That's why we see this dirt everywhere. So it's not very it's not pretending to be the building for some special purpose, because it doesn't have any heater, any ability to, you know, stay there and have a decent life, and also has many buried tunnels like this and that, and they all lead to the underground of this mountain. So this is a huge construction, and it probably was occupied by the parasites and used as some artifact, medieval artifact, just to, you know, pretend the history was something different. Look the amount of the reconstructions there. They were creating this medieval fakery just to hide the bricks inside. And also we see, if this is a trench which surrounds the fortress, why do you have the windows in the trench? So it's like kind of stupid, because if you go there, you can, you know, go to some other building from the window. So this is not a defensive purpose, this is just a stupidity. Probably this was just excavated inside and made looking like a trench. And look at this arch below here. It looks pretty much a good evidence for this is just not the top floor. Probably something is below that. And everything is under the dirt here. So probably you have star forts on the map and you already seen them. So he's like in his program that shows us different star forts, how they look in different years. Let's show, because this Google Earth can show the pictures of different star forts, different constructions in different years. Let's see. And he's showing one video, one guy. So as you see, this is 2016 right now. So he switches to 25. Also 2013, and nothing on 25. also 2013, and then it's, you know, disappearing. So they like finding those places and trying to restore them so they can show it in the further history as some artifacts of the medievals. Probably they are not. They probably are from the 18th, 19th century, and were all used by the same civilization. So think about it, and find yourself a program like this, and, you know, make some experiments, because this is ridiculous. Okay, what else? So this is like a huge line here, which shows us with this dark green color. This is all mountains here, and what I've heard about Nazi Germany, that they had tunnels here in these mountains all the way to German territory. This is Poland, in fact. And we have this town of Wrocław here, also signs of the Star Fortress, as you can see, all those sharp angles that are still here, and you can draw lines and understand that this was the previous Star Fort. So this is the line of huge line of Star Forts here, from Silver Mountain, maybe way down below here to Austria, or even more, and up here to Germany. And this is also Russia, Moscow. If you think about burying a Star Fort on the top of the hill, top of the mountain, you can also watch this entrance to Moscow Kremlin. As you can see here, let's, you know, land our person. Just understand the height here. It's like maybe 15 meters, up to 15 meters high. Maybe 12 to 15 meters. Okay, so if you want to go here, you have to start all the way from this tower and go up here to this tower, and guess what you see there? Okay, let's see. So you go up here to this tower, and what you see is this is, you're up here. So you like the top of the wall, you're almost here, and this is the entrance. So this is all the level here. So the level is probably showing us the flooded inside of the Kremlin. And this tower is probably a lot deeper than it looks like, but it's not excavated from this side. So it's all a level right now, and many different things here in Kremlin, which I'm probably gonna show you when I go there, but, you know, there's always no time to walk around, so we have to make a specific video about this. So not only the mountain fortresses were flooded with the mud, all the fortresses have the signs of the flooding inside the fortress, and below here we can probably find a bunch of evidence if we go inside the Kremlin. So so does he here, because he also shows, his subscriber also shows this fortress here, or the castle of Xönt, which has plenty signs of reconstruction. It's also on the line of these tunnels of Nazi Germany. And what I'm thinking is that they were just cleaning those tunnels, not creating them through the mountains. So probably those are like tunnels of maybe some civilization, like the miners' civilization, and they used those tunnels. And right now on the line of those tunnels, we can find many of those so-called medieval objects like castles, star forts, and all this. And you can see this huge construction here. It's also in Poland, but it's ex-territory of Germany before the World War II. So it has like the combination of two styles, which is also the sign of reconstruction, because this part was probably reconstructed to be a medieval castle, and that one probably had a little change to Baroque from the classical. And this guy also shows us that some pictures here are different, and the tower was reconstructed, the level of the windows changed, and we can see that right now in the modern one we have different entrance. Then right here it was just the windows, and he probably shows how it's actually looking if it's buried. But okay, let's go inside this entrance. So this is just the tunnels below it. They show like the ugly tunnels for us to think that it's all primitive, but actually this is just one of the picture, and there are plenty of more in the archives of that show the different structure of the tunnels, and most of them look pretty much advanced. Okay, and this is inside of this castle. Look at the mirror. It's located way above the human height. Like, who was looking in this mirror? If you barely up to fireplace. Just imagine the height of the person who could have been using it. I don't know. So most of the rooms are filled with this stupid furniture, which doesn't, actually correlate with this design. And probably this is all reconstructed for just, entertainment. Plenty of stupid pictures, and some of them show ruins of ancient times, just for laughing at what they really trying to pretend here. This is the inside of it, and it looks pretty much also as a museum of some concentration camp of Nazis. And also they have a room of these knights and stuff like this, trying to show how they looked. So very, very good views, very good footage. And I'll probably try to contact this Pretzidatel guy so we can, collaborate and create more of that footage. Okay, let's see if we have any questions. Try to shut off presentation. So people writing me plenty of comments. I probably won't be able to answer each and every one. Do you think the mud floods came from rain or from melting ices at the pole? If from a pole, which direction did the mud flow in from? It doesn't look this way, because I don't think so. It looks it came from the north in some places, but in some places we just cannot explain. We have to look at the soil map. Let me try to Google it. Let's see. So we have like this Russia soil map, and it has those blue ones. Let's see. So those yellow ones are those sandy soils like we have here in Moscow. So this is probably the direction of the flow here, because it looks pretty new. Because in other places we have more decent soils, like these are more good for growing crops and stuff like this. Here we have also sand and ice inside. That's why it looks like more blue and stuff like this. So this is not very, so this is probably also the flood, but it was frozen after the flood and it's still not unfreezing. So I don't have very good map right now, but I'll promise I'll make an exact video about those soils and my comprehension of it, because I made a video about let's see. So this is the forest I was walking around, and I found all those mounds again. And I was also looking at the trees and what was inside them, because some of the trees were falling around them, and I had to look at the roots, and I was checking the inside of those mounds, and they all compose of the same type of soil, this sand, clay, and little bit of dirt. So that's why the trees cannot, stand properly in these areas, because they like often falling down, and you can see a bunch of trees laying around there. So maybe I'll try to put another video when we have this more properly. Oh, okay, this one. So it's like down the creek. And you can see the fallen tree, which was fallen not that far, not that long ago. And we have a bunch of stones and clay on the roots. So this is probably why it was falling down, because this is all the flooded area, and those young trees were growing on it and just, dying, most likely more often than it would be on the regular soil. All this mud inside show us that the roots were, just cut off with this humidity, and were like, dying. And that's why probably the wind was able to throw it on the ground. Okay, so I don't think it's actually has something to do with the flow of the pole directly from the pole. So we have many views, and that it was from the mining sites, and it was from the flow of the wave from the oceans or the seas. But sometimes it's just like on the mountains. So how can you try to explain it then, not just the site of the mining? And this I was talking about plenty of times, about the pressure in the mining drilling channels that could be used to ignite the process of the flood, just like a volcano or whatever. And you do it with the control, so you can release the valve or whatever, and the flow is coming out, and 5 minutes and the whole city is inside with the mud flow, and nobody can move. Because I've showed in some of my previous videos about the guy stuck in the mud that nobody can move him except the excavator that is bringing him out with this instrument and technique machinery. So let's see if we have many questions. Are you saying mud fell from the sky rather than the rain? No, I'm not saying that. But it could be a dust bowl also, who knows? Because we have plenty example over the, they could have been using the technology of the flooding in different ways. So we cannot just, say what was in exact specific case, because it's different each time. But sometimes we see it's more like the mud fountain, whatever. And sometimes we see it's like a dust bowl. Sometimes we see it's like a flow from the, dirt flow from the mountains, which is also a byproduct of the mining in the previous times. So all the mountains are probably are the byproducts of the mining, of the roots of giant trees and all this stuff, and all these gigantic things that was down below here. So I don't believe in space itself, as I've been showing in this video of around the world, Daft Punk. You can see this is the exact scheme or plan of how this world works. So we have the matrix of the universal construction of this layer of multi-cell layers, which are up and down each other. So it's just one of a cell. We have one of the cell with the central axis of the spinning. This is why we see what we see in the sky. How do you explain all those war zone pox marks on the moon? Nobody been to the moon, right? So just don't be so specific. And what we see right now could be just the projection of what it was before it was broken down. Who knows? Maybe it's just not what we used to know, because somebody says it's like a star of death in the Star Wars. Like we see this broken, huge broken spaceship or whatever. But I don't believe in space, as in fact no space travel can be occurred from out of the cell, because cell is the cell. It doesn't let anyone from the top levels. We have only entrances on the down levels, and the exits to the sides, which were now closed by the controllers. So we also had the teleportation system and the signal teleportation, which was actually like a video connection, something like this, but it's also broken right now. So we can only use our feet and the technology to descend down to the tunnels, and through the tunnels we can also go. But all the tunnels are controlled. Nobody is letting anyone out or in the tunnel. So all the tunnels are controlled. Okay, firmament is a limit. Yes, sure. You cannot go outside from the firmament. So thank you guys for watching. I hope I covered a bunch of questions, and pretty much soon I'll be able to create the video about the soils, because I have the footage, as you can see, from the forest, and also some material from the maps. Thanks a lot for watching. See you later. Bye.